Hey, we're live.
You're listening to the We Talk Nerd podcast about gaming, movies, and everything nerd. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Andrew. And Rob
I'm
just
Rob.
disconnected. Okay, there we go.
A little rough start, but there's Rob.
There's Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Yes, I am here.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what happens when you hit the disconnect button instead of the unmute button.
Didn't- I know.
No, that didn't
That was
happen.
the first time it happened.
Rob, what have you been up to?
Besides disconnecting from chat
Yeah, besides that.
On purpose.
on purpose. Yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Way too much of my time. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks, guys. It's been a little bit since
Yeah, a little
we've done this.
It's about the launch of Red Dead. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put in a little bit of time there, and then realized this is going to take all my time. So I need to play something else just until I start getting really deep into it. So I actually bought and played through the Return of the Obra Dinn, which I've got a short review for it. I talked about a little bit during the Metacritic reviews last time, and it's kind of like a murder mystery Sudoku is the best way I can explain it. It's a puzzle where you look
There's
for little...
suicide too?
There's all sorts of things. Yes, that's seppuku.
I see right.
Yeah, you see where I went. So anyway, really fun game. Actually took a lot longer than I thought. I probably got a good 10 hours out of it, and it was a really pretty game that was actually a lot of fun to play. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And then I end up getting a new laptop for downstairs. Just when the family is sitting around watching TV, so getting a little bit back into that CRPG mode.
Oh, nice.
So I'm about 10 hours or so into Pillars of Eternity 1, and the goal is to play through all the ones that are on my backlog. So we'll see.
Nice. What about you, Andrew?
Very cool. Other than being jealous that, Brandon and Jared got to go to BlizzCon, I've been doing a lot of community work and been playing Guild Wars 2. I had some friends that got me back into it. I haven't played in like 6 years, so when logging in, I got like 6 years worth of just gifts and everything. But actually, really enjoying it because there seems to be a lot more end game and stuff to actually do. So we'll see where it takes me at least.
There's nothing better than logging into a game that you haven't played in a long time and it's having a bunch of free stuff. That's
Bunch.
the best.
And then like free level 80s and like upgrades and just it's a social game, so as long as I have people to play with, I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, like Andrew said, since I have been gone, I have went and come back from BlizzCon. That's the reason we didn't have a show last week. And I guess I'll just go ahead and start talking about it. Well, let's preface it with what I've been playing a little bit. Some Red Dead, of course. As of right before the show, I'm about 45% done with everything. So not quite there. Still a long way to go. But
that's still a lot of gameplay, though.
Yeah, it is a lot of gameplay.
That's still a lot to get to that 45 in the first place.
Yeah, and I still think it's game of the year. It's solid. There's always some things that I've come across that just impress me. But we talked enough about it. So let's talk about BlizzCon. Yeah, so if you don't know what BlizzCon is, it's the convention Blizzard has every year, kind of just to celebrate, to release news, and with everything Blizzard, all their games like Diablo, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Destiny was kind of part of it this year. Overwatch, Here's the Storm, Hearthstone, all those games. So we had a couple things come out this year.
I remember when you were heading out there, you were really excited about a Diablo game, and you got your Diablo.
We have a new Diablo game I'll talk about. Cause I'm sure everybody's heard about that. So when we get into that mess, I just want to say that it was incredible. It's amazing. If you ever get the chance to go, you need to go. I heard a lot of people who's been before say that was their least favorite BlizzCon. It was a mess. As my very first BlizzCon, I thought it was amazing and it was awesome. And
that's where you need to go. That's where you need to stay, right there. Yeah.
Nothing bothered me. Apparently, there's a lot more people than there normally is, so the lines are extra long for everything. But to me, it didn't matter to me. I was fine with it. Yeah, I posted some pictures into the Discord of some some lines and things like
Yeah,
that.
thanks for sharing those. It was really nice. I was
Yeah,
following along.
I took so many pictures. But yeah, let's dive into it. So if we want to go ahead and start off with the bad and kind of go from there, I guess. The big thing that everybody wanted for this year was Diablo. So before everybody headed out, everybody was saying, we're getting a Diablo game this year. We're all excited because we haven't had anything Diablo in a while. We get there, and if you don't know by now, we're having a Diablo Immortal, which is a mobile game. Yeah, sad trombone. So it was kind of really awkward. It's funny being in the crowd because I was at the stage where they announced it.
Yeah, where were you? I was going to ask. Were you?
I was at the main stage, the mythic stage, and yeah, they're like, yeah, this Diablo Immortal, and I think they showed the cinematic and everything, and everybody's like, okay, yeah, and then they're like,
coming
for
to
mobile,
iOS,
and they kind of offhandedly said mobile, and everybody in the crowd was kind of like looking at each other like, did he just say mobile? And then they said it again, like, oh my god, he said mobile.
Yeah, he said mobile. But was the actual announcement of it mobile really that didn't hit everyone, but it was the actual reaction of like the Q&A that really hit everybody.
Yeah, it was kind of like the announcement. Everybody was like, they just like no one really believed that it was a mobile game.
It said mobile on that trailer, but not till the end. And everyone's looking at it. Like I watched that trailer going, okay, this looks like Diablo 3. Looks like Diablo 3. Okay, it's Diablo 3. And then they're like, mobile. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, so I've played it a little bit, and I'll talk about it before that. But yeah, they had the Q&A panel. They actually had a guy come up and ask if it was an April Fool's joke. That was really funny because you have to give the screener a question to read, and he gave the screener a totally different question. That wasn't what he was going to ask.
Ooh.
And so after he asked it, they promptly removed him for that section of the convention, and he was no longer allowed to go ask any other questions because he was actually on Reddit, and he said he was actually going to go talk some StarCraft guys, but they wouldn't allow him in there because of the whole deal.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, so I played it for some prefix. It takes place between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. It's on iOS. It's going to be on Android. It looks exactly like Diablo. Like if they said, let's put Diablo 3 on your phone. They took all the same art assets, all the same game mechanics, stuffed it into your phone, compressed it, made it look as good as it could on mobile. And it plays pretty decent for a mobile game, but it's not Diablo 4. People, it's not what people wanted or expected.
Exactly.
They had a ton of demo stations set up.
But Brandon, don't you have a phone?
Don't you have a phone? That was also one of the famous Q&A lines. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, but after all this, has come out and being said, they have said they are, without coming out outrighting saying they're working on Diablo 4 or another Diablo thing. They've said we're working on multiple Diablo projects many times over the course of the weekend. So, I don't think they want to confirm it yet because they don't want things to fall through the cracks and not happen after it's been said. But I do think they're working on something. It just wasn't ready for this year, and they don't want to BlizzCon. They always whatever they announce at BlizzCon, they have ready to play there on the floor.
Right.
And I'm guessing Diablo 4 is not ready to play. So that's probably why I want to see it.
That's one of those releases like you got to get it right.
Right. That's a big.
And it's not like. It's not like this is the longest it's been between releases either.
No,
I mean, it was, 12 years between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3?
Yeah, it was like 8 years after the announcement of 3 before it actually came out.
Right.
It's incredibly long.
And even that took a few years before it was finally right. So.
Yep. Yeah, because even at launch, it wasn't even what it is now.
Yeah, and I think one thing, just to be fair, they did say that these were brand new art assets, that these were not just reused from the existing game, that this was built ground up. So even though it might look exactly the same as Diablo 3 graphics, they're not the same graphics from Diablo 3.
But we also had the whole thing come out where there's this Chinese mobile game out in China that looks exactly like it.
Yeah,
give them
that's
some credit.
co-producers.
Yeah, give them some credit. There's not a lot of room to work with the phone screen, and the hands are going to go where the hands are going to go, so the UI is kind of going to stay the same. But they're very, very similar to a point where it is kind of suspicious. But I mean,
the only thing I have to say really about this is I hope they don't bring other IPs. To the mobile.
I'm glad you said
Focus.
that. Their president has come out and said that we're working on mobile games for all our IPs.
No, please.
No, that's going to happen. So why wouldn't it? That's the majority of the gamers in the world play on mobile. PC gaming and console gaming is a much smaller subset, and it's the least profitable too.
Yeah, but I think they just want to make clear that this isn't like, I guess, the main focus. It's just they're doing this as well, like this plus this. Hopefully, I mean, I could be wrong. We might not ever see Diablo 4, and we could just have Diablo Immortal forever on the phone.
No, Blizzard's big enough. They're going to put out a bunch of these releases. This isn't the same as it used to be, where there was like one release of a game every couple years. If you just look at the past like 5 years, they've got like 4 or 5 releases of games. So it's not like they're
a much larger company now.
Yeah, much larger company. The volume they put out is much higher. So I would suspect you would see pretty much everything you're looking for. It's just it'll come out in their time, which is what they do.
Yeah.
So maybe just don't. They have good mobile games. Hearthstone, I played a ton, but maybe don't have any Q&A and any PR the way that you did with Diablo.
Well,
Diablo
they
3
did
Immortal.
before BlizzCon happened. They actually had a statement come out and said, kind of like, calm your expectations. Like, you don't be too excitable. And
but even on the
like
stage,
to say, though.
yeah, even on stage, they didn't really.
I still think they should not have made Diablo, because the way everything played out, Diablo Immortal was the big announcement.
Right, that's the big one. Yeah.
Oh, was that their like
that was
announcement?
That was like the cap, and that's why people were kind of I think maybe they should have done Warcraft 3 as the cap, and maybe Diablo as the understone.
Warcraft 3 is just a remake, though, so that's.
I mean, I would rather have more focus on that.
Right. Well, let's start talking about that then.
Yeah, we'll jump right into it. So we have Warcraft 3 Reforged, which is a. They say it's a remaster, but it's really like a remake. It's not just like a shiny coat of paint over the existing. A lot of it's been reworked. The graphics are, like, it's not just let's increase some poly counts here and there. It's like brand new models for everything.
Yeah, brand
across
new,
the board. Very
high polygon count models. Much better animation, very fluid animation. Before it was kind of they would just swing their arms back and forth and be just like hacking motion, and that would be fighting. But now they're actually in combat and doing moves and maneuvers and everything. So
yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah, it looks really, really nice.
The game looks great. So if you're an RTS fan or just a Warcraft 3 fan, you're gonna love this. I played it on the floor. We got to do the Calling a Strat Home, which is probably the most iconic mission in the game. It's incredibly fun, really cool to see all this kind of be updated to 2018 standards. And that's really cool. They actually changed the game a little bit to where how they have it staged in the World of Warcraft is how they went back and restaged the actual Strat Home of how it looks and how you enter the city to match the lore of the World of Warcraft. So they actually
cool.
They actually went back and said they're going to change some stuff in the story to kind of, because they've had retcons over the couple of years to kind of make more sense and for an MMO, the MMO game. So they're going to go back and fix all that stuff. So that's cool to see. And I think the biggest thing, which is going to have tons of possibilities, is that they're going to have a map creator in the game with the actual dev tools they use to make the game. So like you'll be able to, make your entirely own scenarios and maybe even make Warcraft 4 within Warcraft 3 Reforged.
That's sort of like in Warcraft 3 back when they had tons of mods out there from what I remember, right? And
that's how it kind of gave birth to
MOBA,
the MOBA series.
Exactly. Dota turns into Dota. Yeah, it was great. So more stuff from Warcraft 3. I played that game to the ground.
Too much.
And you guys, both of you pre-ordered it, right?
Yeah, I've already got it pre-ordered.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, the release date is December 31st of 2019.
Yeah, they haven't nailed down
that.
They haven't quite nailed down a date for it yet. So
I can't imagine it's gonna be that long, but it looked pretty complete. I don't know what else is left, but
that one mission.
I would like to see more content as well, like an additional campaign or maybe just something to go along with it. So,
so we'll see
what else we get with it.
Well, that's the good thing I think with the map creators, that maybe we'll see people recreate like raids and instances from the World of Warcraft in a Warcraft 3 type scenario and see.
Yeah, see like a Nixia raid or that'd be
cool to see.
Yeah, it could be done.
nautical stuff can be done, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, that was cool to play. Had a lot of fun doing it. Got a free poster for playing. That was nice. They actually gave 2 different posters out for each different day if you played it twice. I've only played it once. But moving on to the big daddy of Warcraft, which is the World of Warcraft. They talked about all the different patches that are coming out. They're half patches. 8.1.5, we have our allied races with the Kultaran humans, Zandalar trolls. They're remastering the vanilla Battlegrounds Warsong and Arathi. We're kind of putting a fresh coat of paint on them and kind of making sure they're, balanced all the way around. Warlords of Draenor Time Walking's coming. 8.2, they're putting flying. We're going to Nazjatar. If you're a big Warcraft person, that's kind of like the Naga capital homeworld. We're going there. We'll finally have the Ashara raid. And they're actually putting in a place called Mechagon, which is like a underground hidden gnome civilization that hasn't been discovered until recently, and everybody's kind of like half mech, half gnome type thing going on.
Oh, that's cool. Just say it's kind of like Nomergun.
Yeah, sort of like that. It reminds me a lot of like the dwarf civilization from the Elder Scrolls.
Oh yeah,
Dwemer.
Where they had all the mechanical like guardians and everything. Yeah, the Dwemer is what they were.
The Dreamer, yeah. So they have that kind of thing. They're bringing back another mega dungeon, which is like an 8 boss mega dungeon, which takes a good amount of time. It's like a raid version of a dungeon,
Like Karazhan?
Like Karazhan, the remake of Karazhan. Yep,
cool,
nice.
That's
I
cool.
like Karazhan.
Yep. They got more heritage armor for gnomes and Taurens coming in that patch. And 8.2.5, the big takeaway from that one is they're bringing the updated Goblin and Worgen models, because those are currently the oldest models in the game right now. Which those came out in like the 3rd expansion, so it's not like
that's
they're super
crazy
old.
to think about. Right, it's really crazy to think about.
So are they going to be updating all of the NPCs as well, or just the the player models?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, it's like
You're talking about probably vanilla.
Oh yeah, some of the vanilla goblins and stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
But I
Like
mean,
from Booty Bay
they
and all that?
kind of. But see, the vanilla goblins didn't look like the goblins we got in Kata, so they got to get updated there, and now they're getting updated again.
So Booty
Gotcha.
Bay, completely different.
Yeah, for the second time.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then they teased 8.3 with a little fish. So they didn't say anything about it. They also had
I was going to say, what was that, like Vashir or whatever? The underwater land from Cataclysm?
yeah. So Nazjatar is supposed to be was quote unquote underwater, but all the water's drained away from it because they probably went back and said, "You guys remember when we did an underwater zone? Nobody liked that. Let's not do that again."
It wasn't great.
So yeah, it's the Naga cap. It's supposed to be underwater, but for some reason all the water's kind of like drained off of it, and you have to go through all that. Because I'm sure people are like, "Yeah, water sucks. Let's not do that again."
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, there is actually in the raid will be an underwater boss. We have to fight a boss underwater. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. It kind of sounds like a pain, but we'll see. We'll see. We had a new Overwatch hero, Ashe, the cool cinematic for it. Yeah, they have new Overwatch heroes every year at these things. They have a new Heroes of the Storm. Cool. Yeah. New Heroes of the Storm hero. She's like exclusively from the Nexus. She's not from any other of the other games. She's created just for Heroes of the Storm.
Possible new IP there. I don't know.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. No. Hearthstone's getting a troll expansion. There's Hearthstone's expansions used to be big. Now they're just like rolling out all the time. So it's cool though. I haven't really played it. I didn't go play it. The Hearthstone section was probably the least exciting part about BlizzCon. Unless you're a really dedicated Hearthstone player, then you probably loved it. Because it was kind of, because not a lot of people interact with Hearthstone. It's a very I guess, intimate area. Like the devs are down, like the Hearthstone devs are down there, and there's not a lot of people down there. So if you wanted to spend a lot of one-on-one time, you can. Because there's not a lot of stuff going on down there.
Well, yeah,
So
let's be honest though, because WoW is the biggest probably show up for all of BlizzCon because it's a very social game, right?
I would probably say that's probably Overwatch now.
It's Overwatch now. Wow.
The arena was packed with people from all kinds of countries in there. That was another cool thing. Yeah,
that's cool.
That was really cool. Yeah, I think Overwatch is probably their biggest one now, which is really weird for me. not being a big Overwatch player, but it's cool. But yeah, WoW and Overwatch are probably the two biggest now.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. They announced they had the guy the Destiny dev come on there and say they're giving Destiny 2 out for free right now for a while.
Base game, yeah.
Base game. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. We haven't really had any of Blizzard and Activision interaction before at BlizzCon until this year. So maybe we'll have some more of that going forward.
Well, before this year, there wasn't really a reason for them to be there.
That's true.
So they made it onto the Battle.net launcher.
I mean, Destiny was on it last year. They just didn't bring it up. But this year, now they have Destiny and they have Call of Duty, which they they said it offhandedly. So that's kind of cool to see. And then one of the biggest things that I was excited to see there, some classic WoW stuff.
Yeah.
So talk about that. Does it look like vanilla WoW, or is it vanilla WoW with like a new coat of paint?
So to set that stage for that question, it is. I think there's two different settings in the game. You can have like upgraded like details. All the character models, the old character models, all the buildings and stuff are all the same. But you can have upgraded world details, make everything look nice and crisp, or you can click a button and make it completely like the old game, if you wanted to.
No.
So there's that option.
I watched it on streaming. It's they were only running around Westfall.
Yeah. So they had the demo. They had the demo stations there, and then if you bought virtual tickets, you could play the demo from home as well up until yesterday or today. You could only go into Westfall and Barrens.
Yep.
You started out 15. You can only go to 19, and you just kind of tested an area out.
Yep, that's people's two favorite places to be in WoW is
probably one of the most
Barrens and Westfall. Recognizable, but I wonder if Barrens chat was like it was.
It had to be.
I'm sure. Tons of Chuck Norris jokes.
Oh yeah,
all the good stuff. They said it's coming out summer 2019, so it's not that far off. Probably looking at August, because whenever Blizzard says summer, they mean August. They said that the subscription fee is included in retail, so if you already pay for a WoW subscription, you don't have to worry about Classic. You get it included. So people are running if it'll have like phasing and sharding technology, what we have today in WoW, where it separates people based on how many people are in a zone at a time. They said it will be in at launch to handle like the influx of players and what they consider tourists that will kind of come in for just a little bit, see what it's like, and then leave. But once the people there who are not going to stay are gone, they're going to get rid of sharding and phasing. That way it's all there and not crashing all the time because of so many people.
That's awesome. That's great to hear, honestly. Yeah. And so not even the cross server, like PvP and everything. It has to be on the server.
No cross server.
That's classic right there. That is the classic stuff.
So the devs, I went to the panel where they talked about WoW, classic WoW, and they had the devs there, and they're very passionate about it. They want this to be the classic WoW experience. They want to make sure they recreate every aspect of the game like it was there before, including the bad parts. They said they'll include all the bad parts about it too.
The corpse runs.
Except the one thing they did say they were going to make it is they didn't have loot trading back in the day, but they're putting loot trading in now because it was kind of already there. All you had to do was submit a GM ticket back in the day, and the GM would take care of it. But since they already have this trading system now, what's the point of having that middleman step? So if you wanted to trade, just go ahead and trade. That way it cuts down on customer support.
You mean between players?
Yeah, so like if you accidentally loot something back in the day, you couldn't give it to the person that actually
right. It would be accidentally pickup.
Yeah. So you'd have to put a ticket in like, hey, I didn't mean to pick this up. This needs to go to so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to wait for them to actually do it.
Yep,
they just said they're just going to put loot trading in. That way, if you get it, you can just give it to them. Because there's no, it's the same thing. If you put a ticket in, it's essentially the same thing as loot trading. That way, it cuts back on customer support. You don't have to go through all that.
Yeah, that was before the whole need and greed system that they end up having, or even rolling. What would happen is there would be a boss that would just fall, and whoever got to there first and picked up their item is who got the item.
I hope not.
A lot of people would,
I hope that wasn't the case.
They'll have the need and greed stuff in there, but for the master looting and stuff, they don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
They want to have an open line of communication with the players. So as this project develops and keeps going, they want to make sure that if the community doesn't like something, they want them to let them know so they can fix it and put it in line to where they think it should be. So they are very much making this for the players.
I like to hear that a lot.
Mhm.
They said that the in-game content, they could just release it all at once because it's going to be on the very last patch of vanilla before the Burning Crusade came out.
Right.
But in terms of raids and battlegrounds and stuff, they're actually going to phase it out in phases, like it was when it actually came out. So you'll have phase 1 will come out with these raids and this battleground, and second one, the third and fourth, and so on. And then they said that if it's if people want it, if people want this, and it goes on good enough and make it successful enough, they're open to the possibility of maybe even going into the Burning Crusade and having like a reiteration of all the expansions.
You get to see the old.
If that's what people want.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that this is for the people and they want to do what the people want.
That's awesome news, all of it. Can't wait for those 10-hour long wait for PvP matches.
I played the demo and I played the demo for like an hour and didn't get maybe like one level, and it's like
Did you see you were leveling up your weapon as well?
Yes, you get weapon
there
skills. You have your defensive skill goes up as you get attacked.
Yep.
Oh man,
it's all the good stuff that you love about Classic WoW.
Yep,
all the good stuff. They actually talked about they actually talked about the making of it, which is really cool. They as they made WoW into what it is now, they just wrote on top of what they have. This on top, and they didn't have anything, and so they actually talked about how they had to go find a backup, and in that backup find another backup, and within that backup they actually found the backup of the classic version they were looking for, and they try to put it with the old system and it wouldn't work because it doesn't work with their modern login servers and things like that. So you couldn't log in and play. It was unplayable, and they try to layer it in on their modern system. And the game wanted to process some of the old stuff as new stuff, so some of the models and if mountains had moved, the mountain would still be there, but the texture would be off over here where it used to be. So it was all kind of messed up. And they're having to go back and rewrite their old code, and that includes having to go back and do bad code as well, fix exploits and that kind of thing. So it's cool to hear about all that. So yeah, that was BlizzCon in a nutshell in terms of announcements and stuff.
Cool. Sounds like exciting news, and sounds like it was a good trip for you.
Yeah, really fun. So much stuff to do. Like I said, if you ever get the chance to go. I'll be there. I'm planning on going every time from now on. I don't want to miss one anymore. So
okay,
had a great experience. Great experience. All right, now on to other non-Blizzard stuff. Kinda, because it looks like Andrew's got a lot of Destiny stuff.
No.
But just
got some
one
Destiny
last
stuff.
yeah.
But go ahead.
One last little tidbit before we dive into that, and that'll kind of be it for gaming stuff. BioWare came out and said that Titanfall 3, not BioWare, EA, maybe it's I can't remember who does this anymore. Infinity Ward, yeah, but Titanfall 3 and even possibly Jedi Fallen Order could both be released as late as late 2019. So it'd be just a year from now. We have those games.
Nice. Actually, it's Respawn, not Infinity Ward.
Respawn for Titanfall 3, BioWare.
And for nope, man.
No, it's both Respawn. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
Yeah,
if Titanfall 3, yeah. Hopefully Titanfall 3 doesn't follow the same bad release.
Luckily,
date.
Battlefield comes out this week, so I ain't got to worry about Battlefield.
Exactly. I just don't make that mistake again. And then
I will say it forever. Titanfall 2 was a great game. It was a really good single-player game. The multiplayer was underrated, and they were giving it away for free, and it was such a good game.
They actually, they put it out at the wrong time. I think it was stuffed in between Call of Duty and Battlefront and Battlefield, and all those FPSs came out around the same time.
PUBG.
And PUBG too.
Yeah, it was kind of like the big thing at the time, but yeah, looking back on it, I don't know what they really could have done differently other than just delay it some more. But Titanfall 2 on its own was, man, that was a fun game, and that single player mode was pretty special.
I think Titanfall 3 can be the same. I think next year's probably great because I don't know of any big FPSs coming out next year, so good for them.
Oh, the eventual delay of Anthem.
Oh God,
that's not happening.
No, I don't think that's happening. It's coming out in less than 3 months, so
it's coming out.
Is it?
In February, supposedly.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't say supposedly. It's coming out.
No, it's coming out.
Potentially coming out.
No, and no, it has to because they've already released the premiere service. They already released all of those dates. I mean, that's like saying, okay, we're just stuff at EA. Like, no, we're gonna take longer. Like, no one. I don't think it does that. I don't think it does
It's
that.
BioWare.
It's not gonna happen. We'll make a bet on it. You buy me Anthem, and I'll buy you Anthem.
Right. How about I buy you a copy of Destiny 2?
Sure.
That's pretty cheap, I hear.
Yeah.
Sure. And what about Destiny 2 here? What about Destiny 2? You got some
What
very
about
positive
Destiny 2?
news.
So there was some
positive
interesting news this week. There was
Good
a
news?
conference call for great news. Activision was talking about their sales number right before their stock price plummeted, and they were talking about their different properties. And one thing they mentioned was the underperformance of Destiny 2 Forsaken. That it didn't live up to their expectations. They just didn't get enough people back based upon what they thought they were going to get. But don't worry. They said that they will put renewed focus on a faster content model, so more gameplay to come out, and exciting new forms of monetization in the game. So, if you liked Eververse, there'll probably be a lot more of Eververse coming up.
Wait, hang on. Did you say if you liked Eververse? Let me. Nope.
Cricket.
nothing.
Cricket.
I'm looking at people raising their hands, going, "Give us more Eververse."
You're absolutely right. I'm not excited about that last part. I'm not. But the faster content model, everyone's really excited about that. The gameplay loop is still really solid. I just keep coming back to it whenever I just want to blow aliens up,
Yeah. It sounds like they finally fixed the game, but it probably took a pretty significant investment to fix this game.
Yeah.
And they probably haven't seen the return on it yet. So
And I mean,
the push is going to be, hey, this thing has to make money too. It can't just be the game everyone wants.
we've had that deja vu feeling where it was Destiny 1 all over again at launch. And, people may have not wanted to, I don't want to go through this again, so I'm just not going to play it at all. That's kind of how I went through it.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen on a first-hand basis, we as a community, as PixelPub community and Wrath Incarnate, we have seen, in this case, 1,000 players or 500 players come in for this new, for the new free version, right? Just try it out, and they've already said they could purchase Forsaken and the expansions to get there, because it's really addictive. If you have never played something like this, the gameplay loop. And then, of course, the more content, you just want more of it. So, and we've been seeing that so much so that we went from, I think last time I said, we're almost to 16,000. We're well on our way to 17,000 members now. So it's just a very positive thing. And even more players coming in means more people being interested in other games that we have too. So.
Yeah, I think barrier to entry is definitely a problem with a lot of games. Hearthstone is one of those where, I haven't been back in years because I stopped collecting and stopped buying cards, and now I feel like I wouldn't be able to really keep up anymore because I don't have any modern cards to play with. That said, Destiny's the same way. By them giving away for free, I think that's a good first step, but why wouldn't you give it away for free at this point? The expansion, you're going to get some revenue off of that if people really enjoy it. But yeah, you're competing against games like Warframe and Fortnite where people don't pay to get in and all the content is there. And that's really the model Destiny should be going after is, getting the customizations, getting the, paid expansions, forget the base game. Yeah.
Actually, I think I heard even, so Warframe, just from PC, Fortuna came out.
Yep.
And that has, I think it's peaked the Steam charts ever, for top players on online. So that's saying something too.
They're very focused on what their player base wants, and what comes out is what they've been asking for. You really don't get, hey, there's this new surprise that we're putting out, and oh, by the way, no one liked it.
I
just
hope we get some sales on that expansion during this holiday season here.
Oh, they will. I think they already did, right? Isn't it 20% off right now?
I don't think so. I don't think Forsaken has gone down at all.
Forsaken had gone down. Maybe it was just the Osiris expansions and the
possibly.
Oh,
the
yes,
other ones.
Because you need all of those,
DLCs,
unfortunately.
Yeah, I do know the DLCs went on sale. But I already have those because I got suckered into buying those.
Yep. Yep.
What's some other
Fool me
news? What's some other news?
Fool
we
me
got?
once. Microsoft has some exciting updates.
Yeah, they had their like a big Xbox conference, didn't they?
Yep, XO18, and just a couple of key things I picked out. I'm not going to go over everything because BlizzCon was definitely the bigger event, but some exciting things. They're going to have mouse and keyboard support for Fortnite and Warframe native. Although I don't know that it's going to be like your keyboard and mouse. I think it's going to be peripherals that you buy for it.
Okay.
Oh.
But they are made by Razer, so they look really nice. And the keyboard had a built-in mouse pad that you put the mouse on. So that's usually one of the big problems with playing a game on or using a mouse and keyboard in a living room is that you really don't have anywhere to like use your mouse.
Hmm.
So it looks like they've got that somewhat satisfied there. Now I don't know that for sure. That's just based upon what I was initially reading. I'm still looking for more details on that. I'd like to be able to plug in my regular keyboard and be able to play, but it looks like you might have to get the
Razer.
Xbox
Yeah.
the Xbox keyboard. So we'll see. But also in more exciting news, at least for me, is that two of my favorite developers, In Exile and Obsidian, creators of all sorts of amazing games, Fallout New Vegas, Pillars, the South Park games. They've acquired them.
Just the first South Park.
A Bard's Tale, Wasteland 2, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep. So they bought them cash money, and now they are flush with money right now and able to put out some amazing content. So Obsidian is right now the Pillars of Eternity game I'm playing through, but there's so much from both of these groups that I'm really looking forward to. Microsoft tends to support the studios they acquire. It's not like some of the other ones. Like I'll just drop EA as one where they'll acquire a studio and just milk it, rip PopCap games. Usually Microsoft is pretty supportive of these, so I like to see what Obsidian and Exile can do with money, truthfully.
Yeah.
So and I hope Microsoft doesn't interfere too much because they are known to do that too.
Yeah.
All right.
Just to throw back, Forsaken is $10 off right now.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was. That's a stunning discount.
Stunning.
$10 off. So it's still $30.
Okay.
Well, what about the annual pass? Is that still?
I mean, that's like
That was on sale too, right?
it's like also percentage of on sale.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's like 20% off between the two.
My wallet's always open for
It's
Destiny stuff.
It's $12 off if you get the annual pass at Forsaken. $12.
Okay.
$18. Excuse me, I can't math.
$18. There you go. So, yeah.
So it's
buy it.
I got a feeling it's going to go down.
Get it.
Yeah. I think it'll be half off for Black Friday.
Have they even said when this first DLC is supposed to come out after Forsaken?
Nope.
That's reassuring.
Nope.
Nope.
Yep.
I mean, 'cause
Hopefully they
I'm
make it for
like,
no
it still
money.
doesn't matter. Like for me, I'm gonna play whatever it is. It's still a great game, but
I mean, you have to at this point.
I have
You
to.
know,
Yeah, that's a good point. I have to. Yep. Get my money's worth.
You're too far in. There's no getting out.
So
That's a lot
tell
of
me
games.
about this Obra Dinn game.
Yeah, so I talked a little bit about this last week. I had seen the review, didn't really realize it was out, but I had heard enough about it to know that it was going to be something special. So it's created by the guy who made Papers, Please, which is a
The game
it's
that
a
Andrew
really
didn't know about.
yeah, the one that you guys definitely hadn't heard of before. But essentially, you're like a passport checker at this like Eastern European country, and you're trying to prevent people from smuggling into the country. So they might like bring guns or be there illegally. So there's all these things that you're checking just to see. So what the Return of the Obra Dinn is actually it's a 3D puzzle game that's completely black and white, and it is what happens is as you go, so there's the ship that comes back into port, and everyone on it is dead. There's no survivors, or at least you can't really tell. And you are given this mystical journal of all the manifest of everyone that was on there, some pictures of the people that are on there, but you don't know how they relate to each other just yet. And you're tasked with finding out who the pictures are versus who's the person on the manifest, how they died, or if they died. So some people end up surviving, and you got to figure out where they went and what they did. So it turns out that this ship is just very unlucky and gets attacked by all sorts of supernatural creatures, as well as pirates, and just even fighting just internally on the ship itself. So there's kind of a mutiny that goes on. And as you go through and unlock the puzzles, you unlock more and more of the story and start piecing together what actually happened on this ship. So it's an absolutely amazing game. And what they do is they open up these little vignettes, and you go through and you see, okay, hey, this guy died here. You don't know who it is. You got to try to figure it out by eliminating who it couldn't be, or maybe look for clues about who it is. Maybe someone says a name. When they do the reenactment, you can kind of get a little bit of information. The interesting part, though, is that when you stop focusing on the person that definitely died there, you start looking around at everyone else that's there. You get clues about maybe how they're going to pass. So you see things like, oh, this guy's got tattoos, and later on I saw like this guy's arm getting ripped off and it had tattoos on it. So I knew like that was the guy because he had the tattoos that were, from there. So
right.
A really interesting game. You got to take a lot of notes. There's a lot of revisiting and backtracking, but if you're into puzzle games, this is a tough one. I got to the point where I just needed to get done with this, so I went on the old Wikipedia and looked up a few things. Nice. But I was probably about 75% of the way done with figuring everything out before I finally said, okay, let me just see. I couldn't figure out this one guy, and I was like, once I got him, like everything else kind of fell into place. But it was a fun time, and really a gorgeous game considering it's totally black and white. I was really surprised at just how good it is.
The music as well, right?
The music is astounding. Yeah, that is like sea shanties and actually really, really nice, really nice score. So I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 overall. It's not for everyone because it's a super tough game. You got to really be into that, but it's a fun one, and I'd recommend it for anyone that's looking for a real challenge. So check it out. And it wasn't terribly expensive either. I think it was under $20.
Nice. What was this on? What system?
PC.
PC. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Steam.
Yep.
Sounds like a good Switch game.
Got it on Steam. I think it could be. Certainly could be.
Do we want to just tag on some really good games that came out recently? And
sure. What have we been looking over because we have Red Dead out to play?
Spyro Trilogy.
Okay.
Reignited. Okay. 85 basically across the board for all platforms. The big one that came out, Battlefield 5, 88. That's really high. Yeah, that's pretty high. Then Hitman 2 came out as well, which is in 82. So all great games.
I've seen a really odd thing about Hitman 2. He was walking in a hallway and he threw his briefcase and like heat-seeking missiled at this guy. The guy walked around the corner and the briefcase turned and went down the corner with it. I was like, what?
I saw that one. That was good. I like that one.
I really hope that that's something to do with the briefcase being like a heat-seeking briefcase and not just the mechanics of the game being screwy when you throw briefcases at people.
I'll be honest. Has anyone played Hitman? Any of the Hitman series?
I didn't play the first one, but I heard I
watched Soda Pop and play it.
Okay,
I heard good things about it.
I've never dove into those games. It's I
played the old ones. The really back in the day. I played the old ones.
Yeah,
but they had the Hitman that came out last year. It was like a reinventing of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of episodical as it came out.
And that's how this one will be too. So there's right now I think there's just one mission. It's kind of like a tropical jungle type of deal. I was watching Soda Pop and play it, and he was going and stealing cans of food from the convenience store, and then he'd throw them, and they would just with laser precision hit people in the face and knock them out. So he was able to take out these armed guards by throwing food at them, and then he went and took their guns. It was actually pretty amusing.
So it's almost a sandbox game as well, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yep. There's another game too that it's been out for about a week now, but Moonlighter is another one. Which, if you're not familiar with, it's a Switch game, and what you do is you're a shopkeeper, but you go into the dungeons and you recover loot, and then you sell it again at your shop. So it's kind of a a Binding of Isaac, Zelda type of gameplay.
Okay.
And there's also a bit of a selling mechanics too. So there's some of that. But that one's also coming in at an 83, so it's also considered to be pretty great too.
Yep. So if you finish Red Dead and you're looking for something to play, any of those would be probably good choices.
If somehow you manage to finish Red Dead, I respect you.
That's a lot of gaming news that we had.
Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff. But
I didn't mention The Quiet Man.
I don't know what that is.
It's the #1. So right here it shows up as a release on the 16th, so it's coming out this week. Summary: The Quiet Man is an immersive, story-driven cinematic action experience that seamlessly blends hybrid action, live action, realistic CG, pulse-pounding action gameplay that can be completed in one sitting. Put out by Square Enix. And it's currently sitting with a 31 overall.
Holy cow.
With 16 negative reviews.
My God.
And 1 positive review.
And positive reviews like, it's okay.
Developed and published by Square Enix?
It says, developed and published by Square Enix.
Oh my goodness. Square Enix,
must be their
what?
junior department.
Dang.
That's kind of notable that they would have like such a bad review for that.
Yeah.
It's also early. That's only 16 reviews, but there's a trend there.
Yeah, this week we have Fallout comes out tomorrow, Fallout 76. We have Pokemon at the end of the week, I believe, Friday. And yeah, so a pretty big week overall for some releases.
Sure.
So I know I'll maybe try out some Fallout. God, I can't play everything and play Red Dead at the same time. It's too much.
I'm gonna skip Fallout. I'm gonna skip.
Yeah.
Fallout.
I have it. I already got it ordered. So I played the beta. It's Fallout 4 online minus NPCs. That's what the game is. So if you like Fallout, you'll like this.
Killing your friends. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if you like playing with friends,
nuke player.
I don't know
Other
why you
players.
want to nuke your friends, but
No.
yeah, it's good stuff. Like, it's not bad. It's more of the same stuff, but with online. So if you ever play Fallout and be like, I really want this to be online, you'll love this game. But if you're playing through Fallout and like, I want something different, don't pick this up. Anyway, big out of the gaming stuff into the movie, TV, streaming universe. We have Disney came out, gave a name for their service, and when it's coming out, it's called Disney Plus. If you sounds familiar, their other service is called ESPN Plus. So it's coming out 2019. For some of the series, we actually have Tom Hiddleston confirming he'll be in the Loki series is coming out. We have the Scarlet Witch series will feature Vision. So Vision will be in the Scarlet Witch series. And there will be a limited run series for Winter Soldier and Falcon. That is a buddy cop movie I didn't know I wanted.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Yeah. The interactions in Civil War was really good. So
yeah,
those are good scenes.
You're saying same actors.
Yep, all these will have movie actors.
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, Tom Hiddleston's the biggest star of all of them, and he's probably not going to carry a movie on his own. Although he was in the rumor to be the next James Bond, so they'll have to pony up some cash if he ends up getting that role.
Yeah, that doesn't seem likely, but who knows? Tell me about what Lucasfilm is doing.
Sure. So, in addition to what we just talked about with Disney Plus, there's Lucasfilm is making a second to go along with the first one that they announced, The Mandalorian. The second one will be it'll be a prequel to the prequel of Rogue One. Where it'll be focused on the rebel spy Cassian Andor, who you might remember as being the love interest and I guess main good guy in Rogue One. It's hard to remember some of those, other than the Forces with Me guy. During the formative years of the rebellion and prior to the events of Rogue One, Star Wars stories. Cool. So, yeah, a little bit of universe building. Hopefully it'll be good. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember what this guy looks like. He's kind of got like a mustache and like dark greasy hair. Like, yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see. Looks like a guy in Star Wars.
Yep, he looks like a guy.
So it is going to actually be the guy who played him in the movie?
I think so. I don't know what else he's doing. So
That's true. Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
On the flip side, back over to Netflix, they're actually in the works right now making some Asian originals. So I don't know if they're like going to just be an Asian specific only, or if they're going to be everywhere, and that kind of thing. But for that being said, there'll be animated series or anime because you know the difference. Pacific Rim and Altered Carbon. So
That's good. I like the idea for both of those.
yep.
But the Godzilla one, if you guys have watched that, I wasn't really too impressed with that.
Did the second one come out for it?
The second one, I think it came out. I didn't give it a shot.
I haven't watched.
Yeah, we
I haven't
didn't
even
watch
watched
it.
the. I haven't watched the second season of Castlevania yet either.
Yeah.
It's
good.
actually it's got confirmed for a third season.
Yeah, I just watched the first little bit of it. It's really good though.
The first season was great. I just haven't gotten into the second season yet. So that's good.
Yeah, this goes more into the war, Dracula's war on humanity, and it gets more into like the games. Like his castle is there, and some of his henchmen and everything, and you'll recognize some of the people. So yeah, really good, really good series.
So a while back, we said that it kind of came out that Andrew Lincoln was leaving the Walking Dead series. He was no longer going to be on it. Everybody kind of was wondering like what's going to happen next. What's his next step? The news came out of it. He'll be starring in 3 Walking Dead movies that are coming very soon. So Andrew Lincoln is not done with The Walking Dead. He'll just be in the 3 movies that are coming out very soon.
That show's got to have a shelf life. I remember being really excited for it when it came out in 2010. So I mean, we're talking 8 years later. It's about time.
Yeah. So I mean, the show's still going. No plans that I know of to end the show. It's actually got the spinoff show, and now it's got 3 movies coming out. So I mean, I'm interested to see what they maybe could do with movie budget. I think it actually has some comic book writers attached to it and everything. So
okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, that would only be one. Robert Kirkman's the only writer for it.
Yeah.
So if he's involved, which I thought he has always kind of been involved, but
I think so.
It'd be good to see. I would like them to do a little more of a deep dive on some of the other fringe characters that didn't really get a lot of attention. That would be good to see.
Like Coral.
Coral.
Yeah, Coral.
Yeah,
but
Coral
AMC,
got enough.
AMC's not done with making movies yet. A Breaking Bad movie is coming out, and it'll be a sequel to the TV series.
Yeah, so no Walter White.
No Walter White, because if you don't know by now, Walter White's dead.
Oh, spoilers! Spoilers. He did not make it.
He did not make it. But the movie will be a sequel to that, and it'll have the guy. I haven't really watched Breaking Bad.
Jesse Pinkman. Aaron Paul, I think is his name.
Aaron Paul. Yep. It'll be focusing.
He was my least favorite part of the show. So the fact that it's starring him means I probably will take a pass on this. And
I mean, Need for Speed was good, right? You guys remember the Need for Speed movie? No, it was
Better
not.
Call Saul was really good. Yeah, I really like the Better Call Saul series. So that was a really well done spinoff.
And I need a theme song for this next little bit. It's like some movies that may shock you coming soon. We're getting really groovy with the 4th Austin Powers movie coming. So that's kind of been confirmed. It's coming out. Get ready for that. If you're not done with Mike Myers, the Shrek and Puss in Boots series are kind of getting revived. They said reboot, but it's not like a reboot. It's like a continuation. So I like to say it's being revived. So those are going to keep going. We have Jay and Silent Bob. Their movie is being revived, and I believe the plot for it is going to be them trying to stop Hollywood from making a reboot of Jay and Silent Bob.
That's awesome. That is
so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Ian McGregor is going to play Black Mask in Birds of Prey.
Oh,
so.
How about Toy Story 4?
Toy Story 4. I mean, we know that's coming out. The trailer for it. I haven't watched the trailer yet. The trailer dropped for it. The trailer also dropped for Detective Pikachu, and surprisingly looks really good. Yeah, I'm really good. Looks surprisingly better than I thought. So yeah, that's it on the movie front for me.
So really, if Detective Pikachu does really well, that would probably be the first video game movie
successful movie.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't we think?
Oh,
I think so.
Think back.
Think back.
Wait a minute. No, there's definitely been successful.
Which one?
Video game franchises.
No, I meant like two movie.
So starting as a game, and then
Starting as a game.
whether or not you want to consider it successful, the Resident Evil series did have 8 movies
It's true.
that were theatrical releases.
This is true. I think the first one did well, didn't it?
The first one did very well. Wasn't very good, but it did pretty well.
See, okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
I
Resident
mean, I
Evil.
can certainly dig around and find something, but yeah, it's not a high bar. There's a lot of really bad movies. Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia.
People give
Tomb
Assassin's
Raider
Creed
was
a hard
bad.
time.
Tomb Raider was
pretty rough.
bad.
All
Yeah.
3 of them were pretty bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there. But I'm trying to. Oh man, I know there's definitely there's at least one. I would like to see a Mass Effect movie if I,
I think
was
you can
talking
do
about
well if done right.
Mhm.
yeah, I really think it could if they really put time and the right kind of focus into it. But yeah, you're right. There may not be. This may have an opportunity to be like one of the best.
Yeah, when you talk about like a video game movie, like there's not a lot that go, yeah, that was great.
Right.
This has
Yeah, 'cause
that
Uwe
option to
Boll
be that.
Really, really took it down quite a bit.
I don't know, man. That Doom movie was really good.
Yeah, yeah, it was amazing. Or the
I
Dungeon
would-
Siege.
I'll be honest. Like
Oh,
I didn't like Resident Evil, but I thought of just one Warcraft movie. I thought was good.
I like
just
the
me.
Warcraft movie.
That's just me.
I do not like the Warcraft movie. It was fine. It was a CGI kind of cheese fest.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it looked really, really quite good, but I don't think anyone walked out there going, "Yeah, that was the story I wanted to hear."
No, I wouldn't.
No, but it was better
I liked
than
it,
most. Yeah, I liked it.
You'd like if it was like if you knew there was like 4 more of them coming, and you
Oh,
get like
yeah.
the whole story, because it just
I don't-
wasn't enough. This wasn't like
wasn't.
a full movie, you know.
It
Yeah.
was not.
All right, Detective Pikachu. We'll see.
Yeah. So looking promising, and it looks like there's nothing else to talk about. But I do want to end this on this note that Stanley did pass away today at 95 years old.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so I
really
give my
unfortunate.
condolences. And he changed kind of the whole kind of outlook on comics and how it kind of developed in the modern world. If it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have the big successful Marvel movies that we have now, because we wouldn't have the great source material to come from.
hmm
So he really gave birth to the genre of movies that everything's kind of going towards now. So titan of the industry. It's really sad to see him gone.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how people really look back and reflect on his contributions. He he and Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, a number of the great Marvel originals, really put out some pretty household names as far as comics go, and more so than probably any other brand. Even DC doesn't have as many household names as Marvel does, and a lot of that's due to just how relatable of characters he created. So yeah, it's really a shame that he's passed, but in a better place now, and
Life goes on.
yeah, exactly. So
I was
yeah, he will
actually
be
looking at his like watching a video of all his cameos. His very first cameo was in 1989 in the Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
missed.
So he's been doing cameos in these movies for over 20 years now.
Yep, that's one where
So-
Daredevil was his lawyer, right?
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, that's going back a while. That's not the first Marvel movie that came out, but that was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
then-
kind of wild.
Yeah. And then of course what kind of started it all was the X-Men series in 2000. It's kind of where it took off, where he had that cameo role as, hey, I'm in all this. I'm in all of them. And
yeah, which is, he was pretty foundational part of that. Like, he created the X-Men, and it was not very popular. The original version of the X-Men was canceled somewhat quickly, and it wasn't until a couple years later, when it was picked back up near the 80s, where it really got popular. But yeah, obviously it all started with his ideas and kind of his takes on a way of dealing with racism. Was actually where the X-Men started off, was people that are different and society kind of rebuking them.
yeah, he has a good take on that. And
if you're listening to this podcast, you're most likely a nerd, and you'll be surrounded by honestly, like, Facebook and Reddit. Your feed will be just all of the good things and just funny quotes and cameos of him in it, and it's good to see. It is really awesome to see. Like one of my favorite ones I saw today was his interview. The question was to him, "What would you like to say to the fans?" And he says, "I want to thank them for having to spend all these years coming to see my cameos, and of course watching the movie with it."
Yep.
Yeah, and speaking the whole cameo thing, in preparation for this, because he knew the day would come where he would no longer be around to do the cameos, they filmed a lot of cameos. I think some generic ones they could fit into future movies. So he'll still be a lasting part of some of these movies going forward. So that'll be good to see. But yeah, so sorry to end on a sad note, everybody. That is
right.
But it is breaking news, kind of news to everybody, and he does deserve to get some spotlight on him.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
so if you have those quotes, you have those cameos, share them in your community, share them on your Facebook. Give tribute. It's all good stuff. As for PixelPub in general, there has been some talk in the pub just regarding this and just sharing some good stuff there. And there's a lot of people coming in. Like there's a lot of people, a lot of nerds, a lot of gamers alike coming in to see what we're all about. And PixelPub's gone pretty big, enough to say like I need some help, so hired another admin to the community, just to get a little help there, and then we're moving forward with a lot of new games and pushing the dev community, the community development area a lot. So you might see like more Black Ops, more MapleStory 2. I know you guys don't really like that, but it's pretty popular.
It's pretty bumping right now over there.
We introduced some like general genres for like MOBAs and like RTS and that sort of thing. So look out for that.
Blizzard channel, Nintendo channel.
Yeah, Blizzard channel, of course. And we just like for you to join us. And if you want more information, just hit pixelpubgaming.com. Join the Discord. Check us out. Have fun.
Yeah. And if you think there's a game out there that you excel in and you want to maybe take hold of leading, get in contact with the community devs and
which you are a part of, I think.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Get you in charge of it and get some recruits going. But I guess that's it for us this week.
Yep.
See you guys later.
See you.